There are a few techniques you can use to get parchment to lie completely flat so you don't get crinkled, damaged corners and edges. And parchment does not have to reach every edge of your pan. But when you put it in like that and it crinkles, your edges are going to be a mess. And if you're trying to sell them or you just want something to look nice, they're not going to. Now you can fold parchment any way you like, but cutting these small inch or half-inch pieces off is challenging, and you end up tearing it and getting a crinkly edge anyway. So one of the easiest ways to do it is to take a larger sheet, cut it into an approximation, fold it, and then give it a really good crease so it just goes in flat. You don't have to worry about that extra flange of parchment. I used a half sheet of parchment for this 8 by 8 inch pan, cut it in half, and then fold it, crease it, and put it straight in. I'm still going to get a nice corner and a nice flat straight edge. Even easier is just starting with a half sheet of parchment and cutting it straight in half. These do not need to reach the corner because you can still spray with pan grease and pull your product out without making a mess. I like to use a little bit of painter's tape pressed firmly on the parchment but not on the pan. And the moment it comes out of the oven, before that glue can cool and solidify onto my pan and cause a mess, I'm going to pull them off. So the same goes for any square or rectangular pan you have, regardless of the configuration. And the reason, I know some of you are going to come at me and say, who cares? Nobody is bothered by a crinkle edge. But if, let's say, you are baking in this half sheet tray with a cake frame, a birthday cake, and you want to do a half sheet cake, and you have smushed corners and smushed edges, when you go to frost that cake, you are going to have to do twice as much work to get it square. So the rule is when you start each process of your product, getting it into the shape that you want, whether it's rolling out a tart into the shape, you have a rectangle or a circle, you want to start out as close to the approximation of the finished product as you possibly can. And firm edges are key to keeping a cake stacked and not collapsing and causing problems. So give it a try and let me know if it works for you, and raise the bar.